What if taking care of yourself actually helped you show up better for everyone else? I'm Janet Jacks, Coach Janet J, and this is your next best step. This podcast is about real doable shifts that help you breathe easier and move forward one step at a time. If you've been carrying the weight of too much for too long and waiting for things to calm down before you start caring for yourself, this is your sign. The time is now. Let's begin where you are. You were made for more than just surviving. Quick show of hands. Have you ever asked, "How are you?" And you've gotten the classic response, "Good, busy, fine." And then your brain goes, cool. Now what? Here is the problem. Those questions are so common, they trigger autopilot answers. Behavior researcher Vanessa Van Edwards calls this the social script. Default questions that can produce default replies, and the conversation loses oxygen fast. So today, we are doing Micro Charisma Part 2, and we are upgrading both sides of conversation. How to answer questions in a way that creates interest, and how to ask and follow up so people feel seen. This is a follow-up to our previous episode where we talked about charisma as warmth and competence. Today's skill is what makes that warmth land in real conversations. I used to think having a good conversation meant having something impressive to say, a clever story, a strong point, a helpful tip. Then I reread Dale Carnegie and basically got gently humbled. His idea is simple. To be interesting, be interested. Then I started paying attention to what Vanessa Van Edwards teaches about the social script and realized sometimes conversations feel boring because we are using boring prompts and giving boring default answers. So today we are fixing both. First, answering boring questions in a way that creates interest. When someone asks, "How are you?" you do not need a speech. You need a better shape. Here's what I mean. How about a 3-part answer upgrade? And this is adapted from conversation research on breaking social scripts. First, a real headline, one honest word. Second, a small detail, like one sentence. And third, a return question that invites them in. Okay, example. Honestly relieved. I finally crossed something off my list that has been hanging over me. How about you? What has been working well for you lately? Or, really good, actually. I had coffee with a friend I have not seen in months. What was a bright spot in your week? Or, you know what? I am grateful. Nothing earth-shattering, just steady. And that feels like a win right now. What are you celebrating this week? This is how you break out of autopilot without oversharing. Next, asking better questions, Vanessa and Carnegie style. Vanessa's small talk diet idea is basically stop relying on the most scripted questions and pick questions that invite specifics. Here are 5 script breaker questions that stay light and human. What has been the best part of your week so far? What are you working on that matters to you? What's something you've learned recently? What's been surprisingly good lately? What's taking up most of your mental space right now? Now, here is the charisma multiplier, the follow-up question effect. Charisma is not volume. Charisma is responsiveness. The sense that you are tracking what they said. So, another 3-step follow-up ladder. Tell me more about that. What was that like for you? How did that feel? Or what happened next? And keep it warm. This is conversation, not an interview. If you want a simple rule, follow the feeling, not the full backstory. That keeps it human and safe. Across studies of real conversations, researchers found that people who ask more questions are better liked, especially when they ask follow-up questions. Why? Follow-ups signal responsiveness, listening, understanding, validation, care. So yes, your follow-up question is doing more than collecting information. It is communicating you matter in this moment. Proverbs 25 says, "The purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, but one who has insight draws them out." A good follow-up question is one gentle way to draw out what is already there. Let's make it easy. They say, "This month has been a lot." You say, "Oh yeah? What's been going on?" Or, "I can imagine. What's making it feel so overwhelming?" Or, "That sounds exhausting. Is there anything that would lighten the load?" Or, they say, "I am so excited about a new opportunity." You say, "Oh, that's great. What is the opportunity?" Or, "Tell me about it. What caught your attention?" Or, "I love that. What happens next?" Notice, you are staying with their story long enough for connection to form. How this affects the 4 pillars. Mental, you focus attention and reduce the urge to think about what you will say next. Emotional, people feel seen, which builds trust fast. Physical, a slower pace lowers stress in the body. Spiritual, curiosity becomes a form of honor, treating people like they carry something worth drawing out. Here is your next best step for this week. In your next conversation, ask 2 follow-up questions before you share your story. That is it. 2 questions, then you can share. And if you want a mini bonus challenge, upgrade your next "How are you?" answer using the headline, detail, and return pattern. Remember, charisma is not about being the loudest person in the room. It is about making others feel heard. 2 follow-up questions. That tiny shift changes everything. And until next time, take your next best step. All right, you've got your next step. Small, doable, and real. If this inspired you, make sure to grab your free 5-minute daily reset at yournextbeststep.com. It's my gift to help you pause the chaos and reconnect with what matters most. Be sure to subscribe. And if someone came to mind while you listened, please share this with them. Remember, you are seen, you are known, and you matter. Be kind to yourself along the way. You are making real change, one step at a time. One more thing before we go. There is a conversation trap researchers call boomerasking. Here is how it works. You ask someone a question. They answer. But then, instead of following up on what they said, you immediately answer your own question. Like a boomerang, the question comes right back to you. For example, ask bragging. Person 1, "How was your weekend?" Person 2, "Pretty quiet, just caught up on some errands." Person 1, "Oh, nice. Mine was incredible. I hiked 10 miles and saw the most amazing sunset." There's also ask complaining. Person 1, "How's work going?" Person 2, "Busy, but managing." Person 1, "Ugh, tell me about it. My boss just dumped 3 new projects on me and I am drowning." Or there is ask sharing. Person 1, what should we eat for dinner? Person 2, maybe we could do Subway. Person 1, actually, let's do tacos. I'll start making them now. See what happened? Person 1 asked, but did not really listen to the answer. A micro fix for this is, after they answer, offer one real follow-up before sharing your version. That tiny pause protects connection.